Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. My name is John Tiliacos. I'm the Executive Vice President of Airport Operations here at Tampa International Airport. As an airport, safety is at the core of everything we do here at TPA, and as such, our team has been planning and executing all of the preparations that we need to take for Hurricane Milton's arrival. Our top priority is obviously the safety of the more than 10,000 employees that work here at TPA, and of course, our passengers and our airport facilities. At 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, we will be closed to all passengers so that our team can begin the process of securing our airport facilities, which takes up to 24 hours. There will be no flight operations arriving or departing after 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We have 58 jet bridges. To give you an example of the monumental task that we undergo to secure the airport prior to a tropical storm, or in this case, a hurricane, we have 58 jet bridges that all need to be chained down, as well as numerous other protective measures that we must take in advance of the onset of tropical storm force winds to protect our terminal facilities and our airfield. In terms of reopening the airport, we will make that determination once the storm has passed, and we've had an opportunity to conduct a post-storm damage assessment and determine the condition of our airfield. As you know, Tampa International Airport is extremely close to Tampa Bay, and storm surge and flooding are a top concern for us, as are the hurricane force winds that we expect to experience here at the airport. If you consider that we may potentially face 10 to 15 feet of storm surge, we're talking about a lot of water that will find its way onto the airport. I'd like to remind the public that the airport is not a shelter. We do not have the resources, especially emergency medical response type resources, to be able to help anyone out here. So we are not a shelter, and we do not want anyone coming to the airport after 9 a.m. tomorrow. In addition, the airport is in an evacuation zone, and so you will not be permitted to remain at the airport. Again, do not come to the airport after 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and do not bring your vehicles to the airport. You won't be able to get in after 9 a.m. Those looking for available shelter space should visit their respective county websites for that information. If anyone happens to be at the airport after 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we will make arrangements to take you to the closest shelter. Once the storm has passed, our team will conduct a damage assessment of our airfield and terminal facilities and determine when we can reopen the airport. So given the magnitude and severity of this storm and the impact that we expect, it is much, much too early, unlike previous storms, much too early to ascertain when we can reopen. So we'll conduct a damage assessment after the storm has passed, and our goal is obviously going to be to reopen the airport as quickly and as safely as we possibly can. I also want to urge our passengers who have questions about flights, make sure please you contact your airline directly. We manage the airport, the facilities. We do not manage airline flight schedules. And finally, I'd like to thank our airlines, our federal partners, our storm riders here at the Aviation Authority, and the many members of our team who I know will be working around the clock to prepare for Hurricane Milton and get the airport back open as quickly and as safely as possible. And at this time, I'm happy to take any questions.
On the actual process of closing down,
Yep.
is there like a formal locking the doors, and is there like a final sweep to go through to make sure that nobody is in the building?
Yeah, great question. So we have a very specific checklist that we follow with regard to suspending operations. We coordinate all of those requirements very closely with the TSA, the FAA, our airline partners, all of our tenants. As I said in my remarks, we have 58 jet bridges. These jet bridges weigh thousands of pounds, and so for a storm like this, we're actually going to chain those bridges down to the surface. And then, of course, there are a myriad of other facilities that have to be secured to prevent water intrusion or wind damage. And then, of course, we have our airfield. We've got to make sure that our airfield is properly prepared, meaning that water is able to drain from the airfield. Our navigational aids, that's something that the FAA will be looking at. So there's a whole myriad of facilities that we've got to secure. And that is a pretty tall order, and it takes up to 24 hours. The better a job we do, as I've always said with every one of these storms that we get, the better job we do on the front end of securing our airport, that helps to mitigate any potential damage, and we are better positioned to open the airport after the storm has passed.